Seated beside me is the reason I'm here. But let me just welcome Mrs. Leneka Scott, who is the Caribbean Regional Coordinator for the High Seas Alliance.
Yes.
Right. So we haven't been much on the inside, but just by engaging with our other interviewees and participants, I think everybody had a great time.
I'm really happy to hear that. We really
Yeah.
put a lot of work into it, and I want to thank our partners, the Jamaica Environment Trust, UNEP Caribbean, uh, Global Yaadie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite a lot of partners. I hope I remembered all of them.
Yeah, so before this, because Leneka, I knew you previously outside of your capacity now at High Seas Alliance, so you're no stranger to stakeholder engagement, partnerships, and youth engagement, community engagement. So we always had this challenge with environment literacy and spreading awareness sometimes and the need for that. And especially now we're looking at an agreement, biodiversity beyond national jurisdiction,
Yeah, the BBNJ for
the
short.
BB&J treaty.
Yeah.
I've asked so many people, but I just wanted your feedback or take on what does it take to get people more involved, more engaged, and make the connection between what we're doing for the High Seas Treaty and what it means for ocean protection and conservation.
It has to do with how you localize the impacts, because we're a ocean state. In every island in the Caribbean are an ocean state, and it means that our economies are certainly dependent on most of the activities that has to do with the ocean. So tourism, fisheries, and so once it is that we show them, anything that happens out in the open sea, because there are no barriers, no walls, no restrictions in terms of, the flow of pollution, plastics, whatever it is that would happen. And in the movie Ocean by David Attenborough, he shows us that, there are fisher folks who would have experienced real-time implications where it is that their catch is severely impacted. So they're no longer catching big fish. They're no longer catching the same numbers of fish. The numbers have drastically decreased. And that is because of the industrialization that has happened. So larger fishing boats that fish in the open sea, they're going there at length in terms of hours, for long hours in the day. They're going on multiple days, and they're just continuing to fish in the same spot. And so the ecosystem is not able to replenish itself. And when that happens in an unsustainable manner, unregulated manner, then when you talk about future generations, we can't even feed the current generation, right? And so the implications of that, I think once people can understand how serious it is for us, because every day we're struggling to feed our population. Every day we're struggling to find means and opportunities to just support different livelihoods. People want to send their kids to school. They have to sell fish. Some people, that's what they do for a living, right? And it's not only for fisher folk, but even for tourism. When we try to localize the impacts, when you look at the implications of sargassum, people, a lot of hoteliers, they were complaining about sargassum washing up on the shore. And it was coming all the way from Venezuela side. So that, again, goes to show that we have no walls, no kind of partition in the sea to prevent any kind of flow. I remember going to a lovely beach in Negril, and I saw a piece of plastic wash up on the shore. Very unusual for that side of Jamaica. And when I looked at it, it said made in Trinidad, and it was not a product that we sell here in Jamaica. So it's coming all the way again down from the southern part of the Caribbean. And I mean, that's just a few examples as to how we can show just show people the fact that it will impact all of us. I know the high seas may seem far and abstract to us, but really and truly we're all connected. We call it the global common because it's something that we all share.
Yeah.
And the thing about the High Seas Treaty is that we're not saying no to fishing. We're saying let us do it sustainably so that we can continue to support each other, and each of us can benefit in the long run, current generation and future generation. We're saying that the resources in the sea, in terms of, like marine genetic resources that are used to make antibiotics, pharmaceutical products, nutraceutical products. I mean, those kinds of resources, when it's extracted from the sea, we're saying instead of the big corporations keeping the information to themselves in terms of where this organism was found, that will now go into a global database that will, of course, be accessible and open to researchers from right across the world, especially those who ratify the treaty, which is why it's so important for countries to become parties, because the benefits are great. The opportunities for your people, even here at UWI, when the treaty talks about sharing of technology and capacity building, it means if a research ship from France is going to do some research nearby in the Atlantic, they can let Jamaica know, because Jamaica is a party of the treaty.
Yes.
And then Jamaica can let the UWI know, and then the UWI can now send researchers on that ship, and they too can benefit from whatever resources is extracted.
Right.
And they can develop products, and that is, of course, monetary benefits will come after that. So,
All right.
yeah.
So one of my takeaway from what you're saying is that if we all share, we should all care.
Yes.
And so
What?
I want to thank you so much for sharing that wealth of information as it relates to the high seas and why it is that it's important for us to now have a more collaborative and collective approach towards sustainable use and management of our ocean's resources. And I want to commend you on the incredible work that you're doing here through the High Seas Alliance, and we look forward to more that is to come. I mean, the stakeholders that we engage with were so excited, had much to say about the film, had much to say about the importance of this work, and so we know for a fact that the investment into how serious this thing is quite the reality for Jamaica, and so we are encouraged by the environmental leadership as a whole that will come forth from this process.
Yes,
all right.
Thank you.